The workhorse of a computer we know today as the Macbook Pro came out in 2010. The reason why it was so powerful and amazing and had a cult following wasn't because it was an Apple, it was because it came with all the functionalities and ports that you only found on a desktop computer. This is my 2010 MacBook Pro. It came with 2 USB ports, 1 SD card slot, 1 headphone jack, 1 Ethernet cable input, 1 mini display port, and the MagSafe lock. I mean, it also had a DVD drive, but we just don't talk about that anymore. The new MacBook Pro comes with 4 USB-C ports and 1 headphone jack. Its only saving grace is that it got rid of the entire top bar and replaced it with a Touch ID sensor and a touch bar. That's it, and it runs you $1,200.
The Macworld article brings up 3 mistakes from Apple. The first one being it only has 1 USB port if you buy the lower model, but if you spend even more money, you end up getting 4 USB ports. But these aren't just USB, these are USB-C ports, which means a normal USB, such as my flash drive, is not compatible with this MacBook. What you have to do is buy a dongle. And a dongle is essentially just a USB hub that connects to a USB port so you can actually put other things into it. Now imagine only having one of these ports and have to have a dongle for 50 different things. The second problem that the article brings up is the low travel butterfly keyboard. So if you look at my Mac, I have all these lovely keys to go clickety-clack, and they're raised so you can press them, you can feel that tactile feel. The new MacBook, however, have keys that are so skinny and so small that you barely feel them move. In fact, it's like just typing on a screen. The big problem with having low travel butterfly keys is the fact that you can't replace each key individually. You have to then take apart the entire laptop to replace one key. But with my MacBook, I can just replace a single key whenever I want. The third and final issue with the new MacBook is the Touch Bar and Touch ID sensor. With all that said and done, I think this article ties into 3 good topics in economics: the perfect market, market power, and cost minimization. For the perfect market, Apple decides not to be in the perfect market, to be a different product, which oddly enough is what made people want to go to it, even though they charge 3, 4, maybe even 10 times more than what the competitors in a perfect market actually produce. The fact that it's not easy to exit or enter into the Apple market with MacBook Pros, it gives it this outsider appeal where people see that outside and different than everything else that's on the market. It gives them a market power because of that. People see it's different and they want to be different. They want to have this special product. So Apple can raise and lower the prices at whim and people will still buy it. And the cost minimization comes from the fact that Apple can build their products, especially the MacBook Pro, for pennies on the dollar compared to them, and then sell it to you for several $1,000s and make a huge marginal profit off of it. Only having the few USB-C ports is what makes Apple stand out from the competitors. Apple chose to do that for cost minimization, but because they have the market power of being Apple, they're able to charge as much money as they want. I think this article, and in general the MacBook Pro, is a great example of these 3 concepts and ideas from microeconomics.